I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. I served with 2nd Battalion, 1st Marines. I was wounded in Fallujah. I had a bullet go through my face in 2004. I would really like to have a pathway or an avenue for us to introduce veterans to the sport community that brought a lot of value to my life and a lot of support. I lived in Moab for 10 years, and throughout that 10 years, base jumpers would stop by and just get me out of any kind of funk I might have been in.
You're tapping into that adrenaline rush, that level of exposure to high stress, high intensity, extreme things that most people never experience. And so, it's a combat veteran. I would say it's the equivalent of being in a firefight. My name is Robert Shoemate, and I'm a Marine Corps veteran. And I got invited to this 22 jumps epic Veterans Day retreat that is phenomenal.
I'm married to Matt Ballard, and he's been a first responder, a firefighter for Salt Lake for almost 20 years.
I grew up riding rodeo, bucking horses, anything outside, anything with adventure and adrenaline, count me in.
Does anyone copy? Radio check, radio check. Be ready to hike as soon as the second parachute opens.
The closest I'd ever felt to what it feels like to be on the two-way range, downrange, was base jumping. Stepping up to the edge of that ramp, I felt feelings that I had not felt since being in firefights and having IEDs go off close by and knowing that there was imminent danger. Nobody was actively trying to kill me. I was volunteering to be in this situation for fun. And I think that is an interesting commentary on the utility of adventure. It's important to not live on adventure sports, but the perspective gained from them, for me, has been super therapeutic.
So, never jumped off anything. Parachuting, skydiving, any of it, base jumping, it's been one of my deepest fears in my entire life.
Have fun, man.
After being in the fire service for 18 years, there's not a lot of scenarios we haven't seen. You deal with death every single day.
Being married to a firefighter is interesting. It comes with lots of highs and lows, and one of them is kind of this generalized apathy of being exposed to just the worst of the worst over and over. It feels like 22 jumps gave him something that was missing.
I'm Mike Berry, retired firefighter, paramedic, and heavy rescue technician.
I just, felt like I was born to do that job. And it took me months to realize that I didn't have that anymore. And that, I was missing part of my family, really. This morning was kind of a jolt to my system, where I felt like I want to live life to the fullest again. Like, it was a pretty cool experience, man, being out on the edge. And this is awesome, being around a lot of guys who can relate to everything you're going through.
A lot of combat veterans take a lot bigger risks later on in life, and we do adventurous action sports, extreme sports, to tap into that feeling that you had maybe when you were in combat. There's not much else on earth that compares to it besides doing stuff like this.
This blue rope with the knots is your hand line. It's what's enabling you to walk this line with no slacklining experience.
So his opportunity to go and be with other first responders and vets who have experienced what he experiences on a daily basis was so restorative, not just to him, but to me.
There's something primal and deep about danger. It makes you feel alive, that makes you feel close, that camaraderie and that bond.
Just getting back together with your guys and just seeing your guys is probably more therapy than the VA's offered ever.
To know that the support is available And 22 jumps is something that restored him so much, and it's still sticking, and it's something that I hope he goes and participates in on an annual basis if it's available.
That's the same thing you go through in the military, is like you're thrown in a high stress environment, and so you immediately bond because you're all going through the same experience.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing. We're all in a high stress environment going through like intense shit.
So we're trauma bonding
Immediately, so
once again.
It's a vicious circle.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah.
Matt, what do you think?
Dude, spiritual experience, man. One of the most peaceful things I've ever done.